Hi, this is Bob Stahl with the Mindfulness-Based Stress Reduction Workbook video blog, and today I'd like to talk about some things that come up in our practice when we begin it. One is falling asleep a lot, and the second is wandering mind. It's quite common when we begin a meditation practice to fall asleep at times. Perhaps it's beginning to reveal to us just how tired and exhausted we are, and it's only when we begin to stop that our body begins to reveal what's really going on inside it. So I'd like to make some suggestions. First is that you could meditate with your eyes open partially, or if you're lying down, you can sit up. You can try to do a number of things to keep yourself awake, wash your face, and so forth. If it feels that your sleep is really predominant, then perhaps sleep and be happy, and then wake up and find out what's on the CD. And I think also a very useful question to ask ourselves, is there something that I don't want to look at about myself and my life? This is a very important question to ask, though I feel that for many of us that we are just so exhausted, we've become human doings rather than our original state as being a human being. So please try to work with the sleep as part of your practice. A second thing that arises that's very common is the mind wandering. I actually consider this to be one of the very first insights we get in mindfulness meditation practices when we recognize just how prolific our mind is wandering from here to there, to the future and the past. I actually feel there's three very important insights that we can gain in working with the wandering mind, or three benefits, I should say. The first is that just the fact of bringing the mind back every time it goes off is building our muscle of concentration. Just like you may go to the gym and you do various repetitions with the weights and you build muscle mass, in the same way, every time you bring your mind back to the object of meditation, such as the breath, you're building concentration. Slowly, in time, your concentration will grow. And the wonderful thing about mindfulness practice is the moment you realize that you're not present, you are. And we begin again. Very kind way of working with ourselves. The second aspect or important learning in working with the wandering mind is that often you begin to see, as you bring your mind back a number of times, perhaps various trends that are rising, certain issues that are coming up for you. And if that is indeed the case, that may be a good indicator that you need to begin to deal with some things in your life that perhaps you haven't brought full awareness and attention to. So that's also very important. And the third is that when we bring our mind back from wandering, we may recognize where it is that we've gone, the worries, the fears, the anger, the anguish, whatever, and all of a sudden we're coming back into the body and we notice that our jaw's clenched or we're holding very tightly in our bodies, and we begin to make these mind-body connections, how our thoughts and emotions are connected to our body. So may we work with this practice in a very kind way. Again, the moment that you realize that you're not present, you are, and we begin again. I'd like to maybe end by just talking about this sense of perception and how we see things, and that it's possible that in the current seat that you're sitting in, that there might be another way of looking at the challenges that we have in our lives. Our perceptions are very important to take a look at because we can become very fixed in seeing things in certain ways. There could be a limited self-definition. There was a question that was asked on the website about in what way is mindfulness connected with discovering our true nature. The writer says it's a tricky question. Well, it is tricky on one sense, but on another, mindfulness is helping to reveal our true nature of the way things are. Now, I'm not exactly sure what the questioner asked or was referring to by what is the meaning of true nature. What is true nature? So I'm not sure what context this is speaking on, but we can say that mindfulness is helping to break the spell of our different perceptions of how we see things, to begin to see things as they are. Mindfulness is paying attention to what's arising in our thoughts and emotions, our body sensations. This is the field of our practice. The investigation is in our own body, in our own thoughts, and our own emotions. So may we continue to bring our mindfulness into our day-to-day life, in the informal practices of mindfulness of day-to-day living, as well as bringing our mindfulness into the formal practices, working with the body scan, the sitting meditation, loving kindness meditation. So I want to invite you in closing, if you have questions, more questions, practical questions about the practice, please do write them in the Mindfulness Space Stress Reduction Workbook Facebook fan page. And until we meet again, may you and may all beings be at peace.